J'ai un rendez-vous à 8 heures. 8 heures? Do you know how to tell the time in French? Yes, it's easy. Bravo. No, I'm still learning. Do not worry, we are here to learn. And today we are going to see how to go about it. So, we have the 12-hour clock and the 24-hour clock. But in French, we mostly use the 24-hour clock. Let's see some basic terminologies. Example, we have an hour. How do we say hour in French? Une heure, correct. A minute. How do we say minute in French? Une minute. A second. Une seconde. Okay. So if we consider the first 12 hours of the 24 hours, that's the first half of the 24 hours, that corresponds to the AM in English. So can we learn how to say the time between that interval from the first to the 12th hour? Okay. Before we move on, we have to see the instruments we use to read the time. So can you name some instruments we use to read the time? Okay, so you can use a watch. That's une montre. Une montre. You can use a clock. That's l'horloge or pendule. L'horloge, la pendule. So you can use them to read your time. We are going to start by learning how to say the hours. Is that okay? Before we will continue with the minutes. What time is it? You will use il est. It is not elle est, even though we say une heure. When you want to say the time, you say il est. You don't say c'est. It is il est, then you give the time. Is that okay? Okay, so il est quelle heure? Il est quelle heure? Quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Il est une heure. The first half, don't forget, the first half corresponds to the AM in English. So il est une heure, that's 1 o'clock. So the o'clock is heure. It is 1 o'clock. Il est une heure. Il est 2 heures, that's 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock, that's 3 heures. 4 o'clock, that's 4 heures. 5 o'clock, that's 5 heures. 6 o'clock, that's 6 heures. 7 o'clock, that's 7 heures. 8 heures, 9 heures, 10 heures, 11 heures, 12 heures, the first half, 12 heures, and this 12 heures, that's 12 p.m., corresponds to midday. That's noon, right? In French, it corresponds to midi. So you can say il est 12 heures, as you can also say il est midi. That is it for the first half. Let's move to the second half. Okay, for the second half, corresponds to the PM in English. So if I want to say il est, it is 2 o'clock or 2 p.m., it's 2 p.m. How am I supposed to say it in French? Can you try? 2 p.m. Okay. So the 2 p.m., that's 14 heures. So what do? You simply add 12 plus the 2. That's 14 heures. 4 p.m. will be what? 16 heures. Correct. 6 p.m. 18 heures. So you just add 12 plus 6. That's 18 heures. And that is it. So you continue till 23 heures, 24 heures. That's midnight. Midnight corresponds to minuit. You can also call it minuit in French. So you can say il est minuit. Il est minuit. So that is it for the hours. Let's learn the minutes, how to say the minutes in French. Okay, so for the minutes, for the first half and the second half, it's almost the same thing, right? It's just the minutes. So if the longer the longer pointer is pointing at 1, that's 5 minutes. At 2, that's 10 minutes. At 3, that's 15 minutes. At 4, that's 20 minutes. At 5, that's 25 minutes. At 6, that's 30 minutes. At 7, 35. At 8, 40. At 9, 45. At 10, 50. At 11, 55. And then at 12, that's 60. Is that okay? So that's it for the first half, and the second half is the same. But there is a peculiarity to the first half of the 24 hours. That's the first 12 hours. For the first 12 hours, if the pointer is at 3, for example, we have 8h15. You can also say il est 8h15. This is only for the first 12 hours. You can also say il est 8h15. That's 15 minutes is le quart. 30 minutes is e demi. 45 minutes is moins le quart. Is that okay? So you can say il est 8h15. Il est 8h30. If it is at 8:30, you can say il est 8h45 minutes. That is 9h moins le quart. You get 9h moins le quart. That's 8h45. So this is only for the first half of the 24 hours. So is that okay? And also, when you want to write this time, you're not going to use column as in English. If I want to say les 8h15, I'm not going to use column. I'm going to use H. 8h15. Get it right? Les 8h15. So that is it. The seconds, we don't really like use it that much. So can we see some examples for the minute, for the time, how to read the time? So what time is it? What time is it? So it is pointing at 4, right? So it can be what? 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. So if it is 4 a.m., that's 4h. Il est 4h du matin. We can actually specify il est 4h du matin. If it is 4 p.m., it's going to be il est 16h. Is that okay? So that is it. So il est 4h du matin. If it is in the morning, il est 4h du matin, or il est 4h. But if it is the p.m., that's 4 p.m., it will be il est 16h. What is the time here? Okay. So 10h15. So how do you say 10h15? For that special way we learned. Il est 10h15. Il est 10h15. Correct. Il est 10h15. How about this one? 8 p.m. Il est 20h. You just do what? 12 plus 8. 20. Il est 20h. You see, you have to master your numbers. If you have not mastered the numbers, how to count. I don't know for what time is it here? The smaller pointer is at 12 and the longer pointer is at 3. So is it 24h15? So when it reaches 24h, it starts afresh. So this time is minuit 15. Correct. It is minuit 15. So 00 hash then 15. So correct. So there are other expressions with time, such as être à l'heure. When you say you're on time, je suis à l'heure. Je suis à l'heure. If you want to say you are late, je suis en retard. Je suis en retard. If you also say il est 16h pile, If you hear somebody say il est 16 pile, that's it means that it is on the dot, like it is 4 p.m. on the dot. That pile on the dot. Over to you. At what time do you wake up? Do you usually wake up? At what time do you usually sleep? Can you say the time in French? Can you say the time you do different activities in French? Can you do that? I hope you like the video. Do not forget to share. Do not forget to comment, to like this video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.